So this is a continuation of the project setup series and looking at the Revit options, which I think I it's really important, particularly when you're setting up projects that you're happy with how they're set up. For new versions of Revit, it's something that a step that I always take. So if you go back to here, you have your main interface, go to File, Options. Now within here, you have the options of changing particular number of settings with Revit. Obviously, to save reminder interval, change that to 15 minutes. Recommend it as much as possible. Then your interface. So, as this is the steel project in TDS, you're going to want to turn this on if it's off already, and it will come back up here. Likewise for any of the other tabs that you don't wish to see. So, systems. Um, and keyboard shortcuts. I can share a list of all the keyboard shortcuts, but I like to create my own ones as well, which I find really useful. So, particular floors, which isn't a preset shortcut. So, to create an architectural floor, I use FL and I assign that. So now, I'm in the project space, FL will allow me to bring me into the sketch mode for any floors, which is really useful. I kind of like to It's kind of a habit that I got into, particularly after using CAD, using keyboard shortcuts, which are really helpful. Change this to dark. As you can see, the tab at the top has changed. And then your graphics you can change if you wish. Hardware, file locations, rendering, spellings, your steering wheel settings. So when you're in your navigation at the right hand side, your view cube, and your macro settings. Now, I wanted to just demonstrate here um, where and why these are here. So you have all of your template files and their relative file paths. Now, what I've done for this one here is I've mapped this to the second year template, which is saved. And then you can also do for your user files. So this is when you have a collaborative project setup. So you've initiated your project and you have a central model, and then each of the users have their local files. This is where it's saved, and obviously this can change via the browse. Your family template. So this is already preloaded with the Revit setup for the family templates, but if you had your own, you could map them to here. And then also your places, so your metric library. So if you had your own library saved off somewhere, this is where you'd have it saved. So this is really useful when you're in practice and a particular company has their own standards, project families library, so that when you go to create or load in a family, it's bringing you to this folder, which is saved off somewhere, rather than every time you open up, it's bringing you back to the UK library, which obviously is completely fine for when you're in college and if you're in a position where you don't have a project library other than the UK. So by changing this here, you can go back to OK, and when you go to actually create a new project, instead of browsing every time to find a template, if you go to architectural template, because we've set it up, it automatically will load the TU Dublin template, which, as you can see at the bottom, that's starting to load. And then this will allow all your projects to set up with your customized template.